Hello and welcome to our channel. Are you learning English? Great! Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
Once upon a time in a small town called Brightville, there lived a boy named Ian. Ian was 18 years old and had big dreams. He wanted to become a great storyteller, like his hero Stan Lee, the legendary creator of Spider-Man, Iron Man, and many more superheroes. But there was a problem. Ian was afraid to speak in English. He could write a little. He could read slowly. But when it came to speaking, he would freeze. His classmates would laugh, his confidence would fall, and he would stay quiet. Still, Ian had one secret weapon. He never gave up. One evening, while watching YouTube, Ian found a video titled Best Advice for Life Stan Lee Motivational Speech. Curious, he clicked on it. Stan Lee's voice was calm but powerful. If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. These words hit Ian like lightning. Don't let some idiot talk you out of it. He paused the video, rewound it, and listened again. If you have an idea, Ian took out his notebook. He wrote the line again and underlined one word, believe. From that day, Ian decided something simple but powerful. He would learn English through the stories he loved. He started small. Every morning, he listened to one English speech. Every afternoon, he wrote 5 sentences about it. And every night, he practiced speaking in front of his mirror. Sometimes, he would pretend he was giving a TED talk. Sometimes he acted like he was being interviewed on a red carpet. But always, he spoke in English. One day, at school, his English teacher asked the class who wants to give a short speech on success. The room was silent. Everyone looked down. But not Ian. He raised his hand. His heart was racing. His hands were cold. But he remembered Stan Lee's words. Don't let fear stop you from being creative. Being creative means you are alive. Ian walked to the front of the class. He looked at his classmates. He smiled nervously. Then, slowly, confidently, he said, "Hello everyone. My name is Ian. I want to tell you something I learned from Stan Lee." The class listened. Stan Lee once said, "With great power comes great responsibility." I believe learning English is my power, and I want to use it with responsibility to tell stories that inspire others. Suddenly, the class was silent. But this time, it wasn't because of fear. It was because they were amazed. Even his teacher was smiling. "Very good, Ian," she said. "You've improved a lot." That night, Ian felt proud, but he knew the journey was just beginning. He went home, opened his notebook, and wrote a new goal at the top of the page: become a storyteller in English who can inspire the world. The next day, he began working on his first short film idea, a story about a boy who couldn't speak English but never stopped trying. But just as Ian's story started to grow, something unexpected happened. A week after his speech in class, Ian was more motivated than ever. His classmates had started treating him differently, not like someone who was shy or weak in English, but like someone with courage. Some even asked him, "How did you speak so confidently?" Ian smiled and replied, "I just remembered what Stan Lee said and I practiced a lot." He now had a daily routine. Wake up early, watch an English motivational video, write down 5 new words, and use them in sentences. He spoke with his mirror like it was his best friend. He even recorded his voice and played it back to see where he could improve. One evening, while scrolling through YouTube, Ian saw a video title that made his heart race. Stan Lee, My Struggles Before Marvel. He clicked. Stan Lee spoke about being poor, being rejected, and being told you're not good enough. "I was almost fired from the only job I had. But I didn't stop. I created characters I believed in, even if no one else did." Ian paused the video again. He whispered to himself, "Even if no one else believes, I must believe in me." That night, something crazy happened. Ian had a dream. In the dream, he was sitting at a huge comic convention, surrounded by lights, cameras, and fans. On stage, Stan Lee was speaking, and suddenly, he turned to Ian and said, "You have a story, kid. Don't waste it. Make it matter." When Ian woke up, his heart was pounding. He sat up, grabbed his notebook, and wrote down the first lines of his new story. There was once a boy who couldn't speak English, but he had a voice stronger than fear. He decided to turn this idea into an animation video. But he didn't know how to animate. He didn't even know how to write a full script. Still, like Stan Lee, he chose to start anyway. Ian began researching. He learned how to use free tools. He watched English tutorials. He copied sentences, translated them, and then spoke them out loud. Sometimes he made mistakes. Sometimes he felt like giving up. But every time that thought came, he would whisper, "Don't let fear win." One day, his teacher announced a school competition: create a digital story with a life lesson. The prize? A a scholarship to attend a summer storytelling workshop in the city. Ian's eyes lit up. This was his chance. He stayed up late, every night working on his animation. The English was hard, the voiceover took time, and he had to redo scenes again and again. But he didn't stop. Finally, the day of the competition arrived. As his story played on the big screen, the whole auditorium was silent. The video showed a young boy trying to learn English, failing, trying again, facing fear, and slowly rising with every word he spoke. At the end of the video, the screen faded to black, and these words appeared, inspired by Stan Lee, created by Ian. The lights came on. People clapped, but just as Ian was about to smile, he noticed something one of the judges, Mr. Farhan, a guest from a national English media channel, was walking toward him, expression unreadable. Mr. Farhan looked at Ian and said, Mr. Farhan stood in front of Ian, his eyes focused, his lips pressed in a thin line. For a moment, Ian thought he had done something wrong. Maybe the English wasn't perfect. Maybe the animation looked too simple. But then Mr. Farhan smiled a warm, genuine smile. Did you really make this video by yourself? Ian nodded nervously. Yes, sir. I'm still learning, but I tried my best. Mr. Farhan looked impressed. Your English isn't perfect, but your message is powerful, and your voice it's honest. Ian's heart lifted. Thank you, sir. I just wanted to tell a story that matters. Mr. Farhan placed a hand on his shoulder. You know, when I was your age, I couldn't speak English either. But like you, I believed in myself. That belief changed my life. He paused, then added, we need more storytellers like you. People who speak not just with words, but with heart. Later that day, when the results were announced, Ian was holding his breath. The room was packed with students, teachers, and guests. His heart beat like a drum. And the winner of the digital storytelling competition is Ian Rahman. The crowd burst into applause. Ian sat still for a second, not believing what he heard. His friends shouted his name. His teacher smiled proudly. Slowly, Ian stood up and walked to the stage. As he took the microphone, he felt nervous, but he remembered Stan Lee's voice in his mind. The only advice anyone can give is, if you want to be a writer, write. Ian took a deep breath and said, I want to thank everyone here. I used to be afraid of English. I thought I was too weak, too slow. But then, I discovered stories from people like Stan Lee. They taught me that being different is not a weakness. It's a superpower. The room was silent again, this time with emotion. And I want to say something to everyone who struggles like I did. Don't wait for perfect English. Start with what you have. Learn as you go. Because stories don't need perfection. They need truth. The applause returned, louder than before. After the ceremony, Ian received a letter. It was an invitation to attend the summer storytelling workshop in the city. Not only that, but Mr. Farhan had personally recommended him for a segment on youth storytelling for national TV. That night, Ian sat by his window, holding the letter in his hand. He looked up at the stars and whispered, Thank you, Stan Lee. You never met me, but you changed my life. The next morning, Ian packed his bags for the city. He didn't know what the future held, but he knew one thing for sure. He was no longer the boy who was afraid to speak. He was a storyteller in the making. But as he stepped off the bus into the heart of the city, something unexpected happened again. As Ian stepped into the city, everything felt bigger, taller buildings, louder voices, faster lives. But inside, he felt calm. He had come with purpose. At the workshop, Ian met others like him, young dreamers with stories to tell. Some were great at English, some weren't. But all of them shared one thing, passion. During a group activity, Ian was paired with a girl named Zara, who had lived abroad and spoke fluent English. At first, Ian felt nervous, but when he started sharing his ideas, Zara looked impressed. You may not speak like a native, she said, but your story speaks louder than words. That evening, Ian gave his first presentation in front of a national audience. His hands shook, but his voice was steady. I'm not here because I speak perfect English. I'm here because I kept going. The audience stood up and clapped. Backstage, Mr. Farhan came to him again and said, Welcome to your origin story, Ian. Every hero has one. This is yours. Ian smiled. He wasn't Spider-Man. He wasn't Iron Man. He was himself, and that was enough. As he walked out under the city lights, he whispered to the sky, with great passion comes great purpose. His journey had just begun.